If you're looking for the best clothes steamers, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Butyral Steamer for clothes. The Butyral has a removable fill tank that can hold 8.79 ounces, 259.95 milliliters, the largest of the other two, and during testing, the steam lasted a good 12 minutes before sputtering out. Like other steamers we previously tested, this handheld steamer resembles a sci-fi laser gun and weighs 2 pounds, which we felt was just comfortable enough to hold for long stretches of time. At 1200 watts, the Butyral was the fastest in heating up 30 seconds, and has a trigger lock for controlling continuous steam, or steam burst. The produced steam was forceful and steamed out a wrinkled shirt in 5 minutes, and a sheer silk scarf in 5 seconds. The Butyral has a feature that you would think the HILIFE and Rowenta should have, but don't, is an automatic shut-off after 8 minutes of inactivity, which prevents the unit from burning if you leave it unattended. The Butyral comes with 3 attachments: a brush tool, a crease clip, and a lint brush. The brush tool works well in steaming shirts, and the lint brush is great for lifting lint or pet hair from suits and pants while steaming at the same time. The crease clip is a bit awkward to attach, and it really doesn't work since you can only run a couple of inches of pant leg at a time. In our mind, it's a lot easier using an iron for creasing pants. The crease clip is a minor quibble because otherwise, the reasonably priced Butyral is a terrific handheld clothes steamer you should consider purchasing. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Esteam Personal Handheld Steamer. The Jiffy Esteam Handheld Steamer provides almost as much power as the larger J2000 Jiffy steamer, but it did so in a compact unit. Unlike the other handheld models, the steam head is square, which provides more precision for going over corners of pockets and pressing into the fabric more effectively. And unlike the majority of the others, for a smaller unit, it packed a lot of power. First impressions on appearance aren't leaning the Esteam's favor, but it grew on us. It sort of looks like a stylized coffee pot. Unlike the others, it doesn't have a max fill line for the water. You just fill the chamber all the way up, which is nice and simple. Also, unlike the others, it doesn't have a power switch but turns on immediately when plugged in. This adds to the simplicity of the device. But if you ever want to turn it on and off during the steaming time, it's slightly more cumbersome to have to unplug the cord rather than flipping a switch. This can be a good way to make sure you just unplug it and don't accidentally leave a unit on while plugged in. In particular, it straightened out wrinkly shirt pockets quickly, a task that was difficult for most of the steamers we tested. Drapes were steamed with ease and the silk items were wrinkle-free after just one pass. While it is a little on the pricier end in the handheld category, it's a solid machine all around that warrants the price. At 3 pounds, it's light for travel. It's slightly bigger than some of the other options, but its quality makes up for where it lacks in compactness. Overall, this should prove to be a long-lasting, effective choice for any time you need to steam either on the go or at home. The number 3 position is held by J2000 Jiffy Garment Steamer. The Jiffy J2000 gets a standing ovation. Not only did the J2000 have the longest steam time at 100 minutes, but it steamed with more power than the rest. It performed well with all the fabrics, and it did it fast. Setup was incredibly easy, and it made the actual steaming an enjoyable process too. The price tag may be a bit higher than the others, but in terms of build quality, the Jiffy clearly stands out. The bare-bones design might make it seem like it's missing something, but even without any attachments, the Jiffy didn't suffer in performance. In fact, its simplicity was welcomed after piecing together the extras that came with the others' brands. The design itself is extremely sturdy. The pole connected firmly into the base and stood over 5 feet tall, the tallest pole of all the machines, making steaming even more convenient. And if you need some attachments, its detailed handbook lists the many that are available, from crease tools to power converters. The water chamber is clear, which lets you see how much water is left in the steam cycle. It's also designed with an effective carrying handle, which made transporting to and from the sink much less awkward than its competitors. If you don't like ironing and have lots of stuff to steam, the Jiffy might be the answer you're looking for. Next at number 4, we have Power Garment Steamer. For travel needs, you're going to want compact and quick, and that's what the Power delivers. At 1.2 pounds, it's easy to tuck away inside a travel bag. The Power heats up quickly, another bonus for when you're on the go and need something steamed fast. The auto turn off is a nice bonus too. If you're rushed and forget to turn it off, this feature prevents overheating and causing a house fire. The design is comfortable, and the twist-off reservoir is easy to use. The water can be seen heating up right away in the small chamber. This unit takes 1 minute 20 seconds to start producing steam, which is relatively quick compared to the competition. It gives off some initial pops and creaks when first heating, but then simmers down. It required running over some garments twice to completely steam out all the wrinkles, but it did the job well, because the steamer is pretty small. The water chamber is also small, but it will still give you around 9 minutes of steam, which isn't too shabby. The Power didn't have as much power as other contenders, but it was enough to get our shirts done. The number 5 position is held by Rowenta i6200 steamer. The Rowenta i6200 steamed out wrinkles well from all fabrics. The attachments were an added bonus if you like getting fancy. We could take them or leave them. You won't be going wrong if you choose this option, but you won't be getting top tier in terms of quality. Aside from being fairly difficult to take out of the box, the Rowenta made for an easy setup. The hanger head has a handy slot where the steamer head is stored. It boasts a 60-second heat-up time, which in reality took closer to 90 seconds. A men's dress shirt took around 4 minutes to straighten out. It glided smoothly over the silk dress and immediately ironed out wrinkles with no more than 1 or 2 passes of the steamer. The hose of the Rowenta became noticeably hot but never too hot to use. Oddly, there was a small pool of water left in the bottom of the machine after use and removing the water tank, but it wasn't difficult to empty out of the chamber. The tilt and go feature was slightly awkward compared to its rolling competitors. Another bonus feature is the power switch, essentially a large foot pedal that stepped on to activate the steamer. The Rowenta is a decent pick, but it doesn't particularly shine. The number 6 position is dominated by PurSteam XL standing steamer. The PurSteam XL and the Steamfast were actually very similar in design, also both clocking in at 1500 watts. The first impression of the PurSteam is that it's definitely cute. It almost looks like a little Star Wars droid. There was some initial concern that the tube for the steam was inflexible and was going to make it difficult to maneuver around the garments, but once the machine heated up, the tube warmed and became more bendable. The mesh covering on the outside of the hose kept it from getting hot to the touch. The PurSteam heated up in 60 seconds. Even though it advertised 45, it gave 40 minutes of steam time, and it took about 5 minutes to iron 1 shirt, making it seem slightly less powerful than its competitors. 1 full tank to get about 8 shirts done. It performed well on silk and ironed the wrinkles out efficiently. It also worked well on wool, even with the steaming power being a little weaker. This is a great steamer for lighter fabrics as it's simple and easy to use, but heavier garments like thick cotton and khakis would require much more work. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Steamfast SF407 fabric steamer. Again, the Steamfast and the PurSteam XL were highly comparable to one another. Both are decent picks, giving about 40 minutes of steam time and effectively steaming your clothes. The tubing is the same, the steam headrests are the same, and the power is about the same. The Steamfast didn't come with a hanger attachment, which was a non-issue since the head for the pole was the exact same make as the PurSteam and function well for placing hangers. The water tank is clear with small indents for carrying purposes that are not as handy as its competitors, but still fairly easy to carry. There was a 60-second heat-up time, and 1 tank lasted for 40 minutes. Each shirt only required a slow pass with the steam head about 1 time with some touch-ups on problem areas like pockets or collars. Silk wrinkles were removed with ease, and the head is fairly large and able to cover more surfaces without being bulky or ineffective. When the tank was about 3/4 of the way empty, it started making loud gurgling noises. It didn't hinder the performance of the steamer, but it did terrify the cat. The Steamfast only sort of lived up to its name, getting the job done at a moderate pace. The number 8 position is held by Shark Professional Portable Garment Steamer. In a steamer, you want dependable and effective, not quirky and difficult to get to know, which is exactly what the Shark Press and Refresh was. The iron bar is neat but dangerous, and the concept of the press pad is innovative but imperfect. The Shark Press comes with a vertical press pad, which promises easy setup on any door. The concept seems awesome in theory. In actual practice, it's more or less a hassle. It also comes with a steam bonnet to place over the head of the iron to prevent burns. It gives 25 minutes of steam time, likely attributed to the press trigger that allows you to choose when you want to steam. If you're into bells and whistles, this is a viable option, but overall gave an average performance. It's not a walk in the park to set up, and takes some skill to start using to its full effect. It was reminiscent of a good all-regular. Next, at number 9, we have PurSteam Garment Steamer. The PurSteam was decent, but nothing makes it really stand out. It steams your clothes and gets the wrinkles out. It's a little shaky and can crackle occasionally, but works well enough. If you like big, silver heat-resistant mittens, the PurSteam comes with one to protect your hands while ironing. This was a thoughtful inclusion, but we didn't find it necessary. The heating chamber is clear, and the bubbles can be seen while the device is heating up. It took 2 minutes for the steam to get hot, and once it became usable, the boiling of the water shook the device a noticeable amount. It calmed down after 1 minute of use with the occasional crackling noise. The steam head dribbled a small amount of water from the holes at first, which created some water spots on the shirts if the fabric was touched. It took a few passes on a cotton dress shirt, which was fully steamed in about 8 minutes. In all, it gave 10 minutes of steaming time on one fill. The PurSteam did decently well with drapes, gliding up and down and removing wrinkles with 2 passes. Still, it's probably not the purchase for a perfectionist because of the average amount of steam power. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Rowenta Dr. 120 XL Steam Plus Garment Steamer. At 1600 watts, the Rowenta Dr. 120 X is a hefty powerhouse that produces a continuous gush of boiling hot steam. For such a big machine, it has a surprisingly small tank with a 6.76-ounce capacity, which delivers about 10 minutes of steam. It has a delicate setting and a turbo setting, which shoots out steam in full force and enables you to steam wrinkles out of the sheerest and sturdiest fabrics. The Rowenta comes with a crease clip, brush, steam cover to protect fabrics from water impurities, and a nifty door hook for hanging the clothing you want to steam. All of this seems great, but the Rowenta has a few issues. First off, the steam is very hot, and when you're pulling down on a shirt, for example, to steam an especially wrinkled area, it's impossible to avoid getting your hand shot by a burst of the hot steam. It has a switch for the steamer to do continuous steam or steam burst, but it slips too easily because it's located just beneath the trigger. The Rowenta has no automatic shut-off, it just simply stops when water runs out, and surprisingly, it has no power button. So to shut the unit off, you need to pull out the plug. Lastly, the Rowenta weighs a little over 3 pounds, so it's tiring to hold it for more than a few minutes. That's all for today. We upload product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.